What is going on, everybody? Welcome on into this very special post-premium live event edition of WWE's The Bump. I'm Megan Morant alongside Camp and Ryan Pappolla. We just watched WWE Fastlane. What a show it was from Indianapolis in front of a sold-out crowd. Action-packed. We saw returns. We saw title changes. We saw Pat McAfee come home to Indianapolis. You guys, what was your biggest takeaway right off the bat from Fastlane?
If it's a sold-out crowd in Indianapolis, they're going to expect a lot. They got a lot. The title changes, Ryan, were interesting because it added a lot of drama to what's coming up, obviously, with two premium live events coming up in November.
100%, but also the titles that were retained, as we saw at the end of the night, a lot to talk about there. Indy was electric from start to finish, but the finish was incredible.
We even saw Jade Cargill in attendance. Fastlane had a little bit of everything. We're going to dive into all of that on this edition of The Bump. But you guys, we got to start with Seth freaking Rollins retaining his World Heavyweight Championship. We've talked about this for weeks now, actually months. Shinsuke Nakamura has been a step ahead of Seth freaking Rollins, and it really truly took everything in Seth freaking Rollins to beat the 10 count. A brutal match all around for them, but Seth walks out victorious.
It was Seth's first last man standing match, which is even kind of wild to think about. Shinsuke's had one before. Seth, though, has been on Raw, SmackDown, premium live events for more than 10 years, 11 years now, since coming up with the Shield and stepping into a last man standing match for the very first time in a very personal way because Shinsuke has pushed him and pushed him and pushed him. You go back to Payback, Shinsuke wasn't successful. Shinsuke was the one standing at the end of that match, but not in this match, not at Fastlane, and I think it pushed Seth somewhere he hadn't gone a while. It got personal. Look, you could be a fellow chucker like Shinsuke Nakamura. You could bring anything out in a last man standing match, and the referees just got to watch it all go down. But Ryan, I thought actually Seth, and he talked about on the bump recently, it felt like he had done a little bit extra to protect the back because he seemed to be on his game throughout this matchup.
The one thing when Shinsuke makes it incredibly and abundantly clear that he's going to target the back, the one thing that didn't get talked about enough, but Seth brought it up to us like you said, Seth knows that Shinsuke is going to target the back. So whether it's the tape on the back or training in a different way or getting a different session with a doctor and that maybe he wouldn't have done, ultimately it's a last man standing match and Seth freaking Rollins comes into it knowing it's going to be brutal, but I do think he was as ready as he could be because Shinsuke said, hey, this is what's going to happen.
Well, Shinsuke's the one who said it out loud. That's the whole thing. Right. And Michael Cole even said on commentary, this is 4 years, Seth has admitted. So Seth has been preparing for this privately for 4 years. It's only the last month that we've really all known about it. I'm sure other superstars knew about it, but Seth has had to prepare for that. You see the tape, you know the great shape that he is in. He was ready for that, and I also think Shinsuke pushed him too far, made it too personal. Shinsuke pressed all the right buttons, but I think Seth got to the right mindset, which is why he was able to walk out as World Heavyweight Champion.
Well, Shinsuke exposed this injury of Seth freaking Rollins, and he exposed it to the entire locker room. It's on display for all to see, but what really stood out to me most in this match was how Seth was the one pulling out all the tables, all the ladders, all of the other elements, and then Shinsuke is the one who took advantage of them, as we saw right there with the mist, Ryan.
Breakneck pace, right? I'd say, Matt, the first 3 quarters of the match, no one was expecting that 10 count to hit. In a last man standing match, sometimes superstars, depending on their strategy, can be a little plotting. Shinsuke had game plans on top of game plans, as we see there with the red mist, which you and I were talking extensively about while watching this. Go for it.
The mist is something that, if you know about sports entertainment, there's different levels of mist. And, remember, at the beginning of the year, Shinsuke Nakamura wrestled the Great Muta in his retirement tour. We saw the Great Muta last month. Maybe there was a gifting going along. I know Muta's been talking to some WWE superstars, but one of the greatest mistings I've ever seen, but not enough.
No.
Still not enough. And Seth, that's not a back injury. That's Shinsuke going, I'll take any advantage I can get. And you can say anything you want about what Shinsuke has done. Everything was legal. To your point, though, Seth was going, listen, I might have to win this one fast. I may have to do whatever it takes. They fight into the crowd and the sold-out crowd in Indianapolis, and Seth has been out there before. He's certainly comfortable there as well, and he's pulling out pedigree. He's pulling out high flying move. They go to the ladder. They go to the table. He knew he'd have to go a little bit deeper. And yeah, watch here, right here. Watch what Seth's going to do when it's the crowd. He's going to hit a stomp on top of all of that. I know the WWE Universe was talking all about this match here. As JoJo said, Rollins survived.
That's the right word.
Oh,
yes,
wow. Yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, 100%.
That's part of these title reigns.
Yes.
You have to survive. He was the last man standing.
Yeah.
He did walk out with the championship.
Different than
walk.
last month.
Yes, he
The-
did walk.
yeah.
You have to walk to
And-
get out in a last man standing match.
The other thing I want to say, and you touched on it a minute ago, we can't know until we get here whether Shinsuke making it as personal as he did, whether it's the right call or the wrong call. We also don't know what it would look like if none of that had happened, if Seth freaking Rollins can survive the miss, can survive a Kinshasa through a table, can survive the abundance of things that he survived tonight. I do think if Shinsuke had to do it over again, he'd do it the same way, but I do think it gave Seth that extra edge tonight.
Seth freaking Rollins survives and retains his title. You know, I always learn something from watching sports entertainment with both of you. Tonight, I learned about the mist and the different
Treacherous.
effects of mist. So that red mist to Seth freaking Rollins is very hard to overcome. We saw he did tonight. Well, elsewhere at WWE Fastlane, Cody Rhodes teamed up with Jey Uso to take on the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, and we have new champions. The unlikely team of Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes come out on top. You guys, this was a thrilling match. We saw the Judgment Day get involved, but it was Jey and Cody who overcame the odds, and this is Cody's first title that we've seen him since he's returned to WWE, so a huge moment for these two who are now teaming up on Monday Night Raw.
Unlikely tag team, by the way, teaming on Monday Night Raw or NXT or SmackDown
Yes.
or wherever they're
Wherever
going to
the heck they
go.
wanna
Wherever
go.
they want to go. We know we're going to
It's
see
also
Cody.
interesting because Jey left SmackDown.
They can go back. We saw Jey on
Very
SmackDown this past week.
interesting.
We're going to see Cody on NXT this Tuesday making a major announcement as an undisputed WWE Tag Team Champion. But you go back in this matchup, and as I was watching this, I said, you know, I think Jey may have made a little trip down to Georgia to the Nightmare Factory. There was some in-sync maneuvers, whether it be what we saw at the end of the match,
They had
the
a
tags.
combo.
They had a combo. They were on their game. This was not that brand new of a team to me. They had at least had some discussion about where they're at. We know about Finn and Damian. That goes back more than a year now, and the dominance that Judgment Day has had, which is what makes this match all the more impressive as we see Cody hit the Cody Cutter there. You go back to that singles mentality, but sometimes you talk about how a team can come together. We've seen unlikely tag teams do it before. See this post here on XJ and Cody are low-key going to cook as a tag team because they showed it tonight with chemistry, and that tag team finisher was so cold. You have a move like that, you can win a match, Ryan, at any time. These two, though, as they talked after in the press conference, Cody said, hey, we came up at the same time. Sure, we know where things were at the beginning of the year, but there was some familiarity with each other, and they seem to really like each other as a team.
You and I have done this for a long time together now. We always talk about in a situation like this, one team has an abundance of experience together. That's what will matter when you get to the later stages of a match. But the other thing we all kind of realized halfway through is like, well, Cody and Jey have done this with other people. It doesn't take much, and when they're as experts as they are in this type of tag team environment, as one talk Friday night, what we saw, all of that comes together so quickly. They shortened that gap immediately, and I think it was evident halfway through the match.
At this point, Cody is now a 7-time tag team
Wild.
champion with 5 different partners. Jey Uso is a 9-time tag team champion. It's the first time it's not with his brother Jimmy.
Yep.
He is also now a 2-time undisputed WWE tag team champion. Think about who's held those titles. To have all of that gold, it's typically been teams that we've seen so much cohesiveness with, whether it be the Usos or Sami and KO. Now it's a team, as you mentioned, we've only known about this match for a couple weeks. There hasn't been a lot to this.
On top of all of that, to make this even more impressive, is this is the team that overcame the entire Judgment Day,
Yes.
which we typically don't see happen. You see Rhea getting involved here on the outside of the ring with Jey Uso, Dominic getting involved later in the match. I mean, the Judgment Day has taken over all of WWE, and for Cody and Jey to come out on top, that says more than anything why they deserve to be champions.
And to me, the biggest part of that, there is chemistry. And a lot of upstart tag teams can find chemistry early on. We've seen that throughout the years in WWE. It's a thing. but the trust that was there between them. And that's what I was most struck by on Friday night. I talked about it on X after the fact. What we saw with LA Knight and Cena and Jay and Cody all bridging themselves together on Friday night, that's trust. Especially, we don't know in a situation like this if the other person is going to have the other's back. The way Cody brought Jay to Raw and everything that has followed since. These two trust one another and they have that relationship that they talked about. That's going to pay massive dividends as they go on this journey.
I think the Bloodline has started all of this.
Yeah.
I think
Yes, they
anybody
have.
that has watched the Bloodline for the last 3+ years going, if we're going to take anybody on that's cohesive, whether it be the Bloodline as we saw later on, I think it's the Bloodline, or we saw the Judgment Day, you got to get it together. If you're going to take down these dominant factions, Judgment Day running Raw, SmackDown having Bloodline at the top, you got to be on the same page. You have to.
Yep.
You have to have that trust. You have to say, listen, for my own survival, for our survival, we have to be on the same page. Now Cody and Jay have that. They have a reason to stay on that page as the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions, and they take out Judgment Day when everybody got involved. You mentioned Rhea and Dom. They came down later on. JD McDonough got involved later on. Trick Williams couldn't overcome that on Tuesday last week.
Nope.
And now this is an image that's a real thing in WWE as we head into the final months of the year.
And I do wonder if this image we see here with Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso holding up their titles, the crowd absolutely loving it, is this the first step of others forgiving Jey Uso, of others extending that olive branch that we've seen Cody Rhodes extend to Jey Uso?
I think it's possible, but the big thing I take away watching this, on top of the crowd just absolutely loving what we're seeing, and all of us too, we're talking about chemistry, we talked about trust. It also looks like they're having a lot of fun, and I really do think that, especially with as tense as things have been for Jey Uso as of late, being able, so this is just one of my favorite images every single week. Indy absolutely brought it, as Pat McAfee talked about. I'm sure we're going to talk more about in a little bit. Jey Uso's been under a lot of stress since leading up to SummerSlam, really since the entire duration of the Bloodline. He feels very, very much free in his own the ring right now with Cody. I think that's going to be huge.
I don't think anybody needs to be friends with Jey Uso if they've had issues in the past. I understand everything that Drew McIntyre is saying right now. I don't know if people don't like it. Winning cures a lot. Cody said, hey, I brought this guy over to Raw. Now we're tag team champions. That works. Hey, we need to take out Judgment Day. I don't know how KO and Samuel feel about this now.
How will KO
KO
feel?
doesn't care. No, KO should keep the same mindset. Why would what happened at Fastlane change what KO thinks of Jey Uso? Jay and Cody have every reason to be on the same page. Anybody else who's had an issue with Jay, which is not the WWE Universe, obviously, can still have that issue, and maybe a little bit more motivated with gold around his waist.
Well, congratulations to Cody Rhodes and Jey Usos, the new WWE Tag Team Champions. We were all happy to see it, too. Let's go. It is always awesome to see the American Nightmare and Jey Uso with the gold. Someone else that's always great to see is John Cena, the greatest of all time, teaming up with LA Knight to defeat the Bloodline at WWE Fastlane. And this one was exciting for the Indianapolis crowd because Pat McAfee came out, got the crowd excited, got to introduce John Cena and LA Knight, a moment that really just highlighted the event of WWE Fastlane.
Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso opening the night with the WWE Universe fully by their side. All four of those men standing shoulder to shoulder to end Friday Night SmackDown.
Unreal.
Four of the most, if not the four most popular superstars in all of WWE. And then they come back together. And I think all of these teams that were victorious, as we saw, they fed off of the crowd all night long, and why not do that? John Cena, this is nothing new to him. He just wanted to come back for a match, which is kind of wild because I'm John Cena, I just want a match. But LA Knight, I think, went, okay, I'm kind of always on my own. I'll lean into this. I need to lean into this. I don't know where the Bloodline stands. You got gray hair Paul Heyman out there. You have
He's
Jimmy.
calling Roman Reigns.
He's calling Roman Reigns doing commentary. Rhea Ripley called him out on that for X.
Approval's needed than ever, seemingly.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is a good to go. This is approved. Pulls Solo
my
off
goodness.
the ring apron on Friday.
Well,
I
Roman's
don't know.
coming back. I mean, we're
Sure.
just
Well, yeah, he's going to come back. He's not going to come back very happy because here's the end of the night, right? This is how the night ends for Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. And I want to say it again. Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso, not the Bloodline, because I am not convinced that Jimmy's back in the
neither,
bloodline,
man.
and I think Roman will certainly clear that up on Friday.
My question coming into this, I said it to both of you throughout the week, isn't if John Cena and LA Knight can be on the same page. Sure, that was something that we could wonder aloud about. I want to see Solo Sikoa shake Jimmy Uso's hand. We've seen that already happen before tonight. There was a mutual respect between John Cena and LA Knight. I have no idea if Solo Sikoa likes Jimmy Uso.
He's let them hang him multiple times, and then they lose.
Yeah, and they were fine. There was no major issues, but now there's certainly, to your point, a major issue brewing this Friday with Roman Reigns returning to SmackDown.
Absolutely. Ever since Roman Reigns has left, the bloodline has not been able to get on the same page. We've seen the stress building within Paul Heyman, and tonight it really reached its peak, per se, and Friday Night SmackDown, Roman will have a lot of explaining to do as it relates
You're
to
asking
this.
for some explanations from Roman Reigns. Good luck with that.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
know.
he's going to give you a single one of those,
think,
nor should he.
Seems unlikely.
But he is going to address a lot of things that
Well,
went down.
I think people will have to explain to Roman what is going on with the bloodline. He
there
will
will
have
be
to lay down
explanations.
business. Yes,
One-
explanations.
One thing I want to say, LA Knight keeps having the biggest match of his career every month and keeps thriving. I just think that's worth noting. These is a massive situation after massive situation. He keeps figuring it out. It's really an incredible run right now.
What he's doing, and it was a lot of John Cena getting beaten down by Solo and Jimmy throughout this matchup here, but LA Knight, I think, was the most popular superstar in this matchup, which is saying a lot with the greatest of all time in there. But LA Knight was asked in the press conference, have you been able to compartmentalize this? We ask this question a lot to superstars that are on the rise when they're here on the bump. And he's like, no, I can't focus on that. Why would I? Look how long it took me to get here. He said I'm a 20-year overnight success story. Now he's in there with John Cena at Fastlane. They get the victory. He's got to keep thinking higher and higher. He said, hey, listen, I'm top 2 here, and I ain't number 2.
Yeah.
He's thinking about gold. Why wouldn't you be thinking about gold? He's got to continue to think ahead. He's got to keep looking higher. He gets a victory over one of the greatest tag team wrestlers of all time in Jimmy Uso, a rising star in Solo Sikoa, and Revolution, saying it all right there.
That was Pat on commentary.
That was Pat on commentary, calling every one of LA Knight's moves, which is fantastic there. Whether it's Indy, it doesn't matter what town LA Knight is stopping in right now. That is the reaction he is hearing everywhere, and that momentum is only carrying him higher and higher.
Well, speaking of Pat McAfee, who started that yeah chant in the crowd, the WWE Universe was thrilled to see Pat McAfee back in his hometown of Indianapolis. And of course, we were all thrilled to hear him on commentary. Our very own Kathy Kelly caught up with Pat McAfee backstage.
Well, a man that needs no introduction at all. Pat, you braved the elements of Texas and made your way back to Indianapolis here for Fastlane tonight. How'd you make it? How'd it feel getting here?
Well, I'm living the dumbest life of all time, Kathy, as you know. This morning I did College Game Day from the Texas State Fair. Then I got the opportunity to call the Red River rivalry game between Texas and Oklahoma. Then we had 2 hours of traffic getting out of the Texas State Fair, hopped on a plane, landed minutes before this show started, and was so incredibly pumped to get here. I mean, Indianapolis is my home. We have a great wrestling community here in Indianapolis who love the WWE. There was no chance in hell I was going to miss this evening, and so thankful to be back. And yeah, that was awesome to see Michael Cole again. Even Corey Graves and I had a little time, and I think Indianapolis said we want a WrestleMania.
I mean, Indianapolis hyped up for you, hyped up for Fastlane. You hyped them up again, but I have to talk about, you got to also not just call College Game Day earlier today, but the GOAT, John Cena's match tonight.
Yeah, introed him too. So as I was standing in Gorilla just moments before going out there, and I was asked, hey, you want to intro John Cena? Do I want to intro John Cena? Yeah. Okay, so I've got to do the People's Elbow with The Rock, right? Absurd. Dream come true. Bucket list. How you doing? Intro John Cena. Get a chance to be out there when the hits. It was awesome. I've taken a stunner from Stone Cold. Yeah, and then I got to call it this new bloodline. I do not like what I'm seeing and hearing about what's going on with Jimmy and Solo, and Paul Heyman looks like I don't know.
I wanted to ask you about what
much older man. But the LA Knight experience out there with John Cena, yeah, that was awesome. Great way to cap off the Saturday, and I missed the hell out of this place.
Well, sounds like you still have some energy left, but it's good to see you. Congratulations on all of your excursions and everything, and can't wait to see you back here in WWE.
Well, we're living a life right now that is so dumb, and that's me and my boys. And as soon as I can get back, I'm going to come sprinting back here because I missed the hell out of it. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go see my baby and my wife and watch the rest of this thing and enjoy a nice Sunday. And then Monday Night Raw reaction to Fastlane comes right down the pipe. I'm excited. Thank you, Kathy.
He's the best.
Pat McAfee is the absolute best. A quote from his commentary, Jimmy Uso could fit that Air Force One into a keyhole if he wanted to. Oh, there's nothing better than Pat McAfee on commentary, truly living the dumbest life of all time. I swear he crosses off a bucket list item every single day, and we love it for him. I love watching Pat do what he does, and for him to be out there and make this a priority, he was in Texas, Oklahoma at their game today, calling the game, working game day, getting on a plane. This just shows how big of a show this was and how special the WWE community is.
And really, I mean, how ingrained he is into that Indianapolis community. Also, Pat McAfee, one of the best sentons in the business. Just wanted to say. I hope he comes sprinting back and senton somebody real soon, man.
He's a busy man. Red River rivalry. He was, like he said, in there with The Rock. By the way, he gets a lot of credit for the 160 million views. Not Austin Theory.
Yeah.
Not Austin Theory.
Yeah.
Not Austin Theory, who took a tough loss to Dragon Lee on SmackDown, by the way. But Pat McAfee is everywhere. But Pat McAfee can walk out in front of the indie crowd where he lives, light them up ahead of John Cena and LA Knight coming out there. That shows you where he is, and he's excited about Jonathan Taylor getting paid, which is also fantastic. I'm sure he'll be talking all about the Colts.
So is my fantasy team.
A lot of people are excited about that. But the fantasy life of Pat McAfee lives on. Was a big part of Fastlane. Cool to have him there.
Awesome to see Pat McAfee there. It was also awesome to see Io Sky retain her WWE Women's Championship in a triple threat match against Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Star-studded match that saw a little bit of everything, but ultimately it was Bayley giving Io the assist for Io to retain her title. There's been a lot going on with Damage Control lately, but and then afterwards the comments from Bayley in the press conference, it doesn't seem like they're on the same page, but the most important thing is
I don't know about that.
Io has her championship.
I think it really depends on who you talk to coming out of this one, right? Because I think Charlotte's going to say, well, I made Asuka tap while Bayley was running literal interference. Bayley's going to say, well, listen, I had to do what I had to do. And Io, in that presser after the fact, she didn't seem to me overly upset. Matt, there are blips of miscommunication. Heck of a moonsault right here by Charlotte. There are blips of miscommunication that we see. Ultimately, they always seem to be ironed out, Matt. That's what I thought happened tonight.
Good factions, good teams will have their issues.
Absolutely.
It's how you get through your issues and how you come out stronger on the back end. We've seen issues all over the place. Judgment Day, the Bloodline, the Prophets and Bobby Lashley. We'll talk about that coming up. Damage Control has had their ups and downs even this year. Think about Money in the Bank and how Io walked out of there. She had to kind of defeat Bayley. She did defeat Bayley to get there. Not wanting Bayley out there tonight. Bayley getting involved. Completely legal, by the way. Triple threat match. It's okay. I can appreciate the honor that Io wants with that championship. But at the end, when it was Dakota and Bayley and Io still walking out of championship, I love Damage Control. And Bayley said to Tyrese Halliburton, listen, sometimes there's tie games. You got to go make a call. Bayley, being the veteran that she is, made the right call. Damage Control still holds the WWE Women's Championship. The reign of Io continues, much to the chagrin of Charlotte and Asuka.
Wow, Bayley is like Damian Lillard, you know? You just, when you need it, she's there for it, the clutch performer. But you guys.
But she's not getting traded.
No, not getting traded. No, but I'm talking playoff performance. When you need her, she's there. So, anyways, not getting traded anywhere. But anyways, it was a big night for Mist. We talked about the Mist earlier in the match between Shinsuke Nakamura and Seth freaking Rollins. But in this women's match, Asuka administering the Mist to Charlotte
brilliant.
Flair.
Ding, ding, ding. Mist.
Not the red mist. It's worth noting.
Legal.
Yeah.
Totally
Legal.
You know, sometimes in a triple threat match, people kind of forget until halfway through that basically anything goes. Asuka was like, I can do this right now. Doesn't matter if the ref sees it.
Asuka and Charlotte were just in a triple threat match at SummerSlam. They know what this is about. Io, obviously, after that triple threat match, walked out with the Money in the Bank briefcase, cashed in. Go for it.
Yeah.
It's completely legal. Who cares? Go for it. Charlotte should have been ready. She got some help on the outside. She got back into the match. These triple threat matches can end very quickly.
Yes.
Io did not have to be involved in the decision to lose. She still walks out as champion. I still think Asuka has every right to be after that championship. I think Charlotte has a right to say, I want another chance for that championship. But Io won again. Her first reign has been impressive so far.
Yes, it has.
And she has won multiple title defenses. I think the question of damage control, though, will continue to come up.
Absolutely. Well, Io Sky successfully retained her title tonight, and she caught up with our very own Jackie Redmond.
Io, congratulations on retaining your championship in a triple threat of all matches, which isn't always advantageous to the champ herself, but you retain. How does it feel?
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy, literally over the moon, south, over the moon. I feel over the moon because I defended my title.
Yeah, yes. Your title.
You well
did.
Well, our title.
Oh my God. Damage control for life, dude. We are so proud of you. You are the greatest. You beat two of the best. You know, you got anything else? Because we got a lot to do. Okay. Yeah, we got I did actually want to ask about just a few seconds before Io was able to secure the victory. It did appear that... Oh, my phone. Just 1 second. What? Hi, Mom. Oh, Mom. You're waiting. My mom wants to do a cheers with us. Okay, FaceTime. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll enter that some other time. Bye. You can have this star. Bye, match.
Free shirt.
Oh,
Free
hilarious
merch.
damage control backstage on social media reacting to Io Sky retaining her title. That Io Sky aura is absolutely off the charts. We agree.
I tweeted this out. I kept saying about 8 times during the match, I just think Io Sky's really darn good at this.
Hey, wait a
She
minute.
is-
What's better, the over the moonsault or the Pat Senton?
Oh, that's a tough call, but I would go over the moonsault. I would go
Good
over
answer.
it. It's a fair question. You're really good at your job. Yeah.
Well, I had some questions about damage control before, and they answered them in that backstage interview when they were all hugging. But then Jackie Redmond, the journalist that she is, tried to ask Bayley about her involvement in the match, and we saw Bayley immediately got a phone call. So I don't know what's going on.
I don't think
a celebratory phone call. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
and I don't think, to be fair, I mean, Victor goes as well. I don't think Bayley wants to talk about what Io said during the kickoff. I also don't think they want to talk about that Asuka tapped out. The ref, if a tree falls in the jungle, if ref didn't see Asuka tap out,
There you go.
I think Io's really, really, really good.
She is. She's fantastic.
She
You know,
is.
by the way, she was also asked about Taylor Swift at WrestleMania. She said, I'll take on Taylor Swift
Yeah,
as
she was
well.
ready. She was
So
ready.
I'll just take on everybody.
Put that on a poster, Megan.
Io against Taylor Swift at WrestleMania. Book it right now in Philadelphia. Oh, there is a Kelsey brother in Philadelphia.
Oh, she's from Pennsylvania. She's got
there
Eagles
we go.
t-shirts and
As the
stuff.
ref
She
would
could
be
be with
sick.
Donna Kelsey. Oh my
yeah,
gosh, Io and Taylor. I think this is a match made in heaven. Elsewhere at WWE Fastlane, there was a big return of Carlito that got Indianapolis on their feet. They were on their feet the whole night. The LWO picking up the victory in large thanks to Carlito over the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. We saw last night Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar looking for who they were going to have in this 6-man tag team match. Carlito was a little late, probably because he was in the gym, but when he showed up, they were able to pick up the victory.
Ray said he made the call. We saw, of course, Carlito backing up the LWO in Puerto Rico at Backlash, and now backing them up with a victory, Ryan. He stepped in there. He got the dub in this matchup. You could see, and I'm not surprised, the Lashley Street Profits connection is really strong. I was surprised they went even further ahead in this matchup, but there was Carlito. Brand new shirt, by the way. That's up on shop right now. And showing up to be there for Ray, to be there for Santos Escobar after we saw Cruz and Joaquin get taken out on SmackDown. Yeah, I think Carlito's looking pretty good there.
Yes, that's why he was late. He was in the gym. Look at him.
I mean, it's possible that he was on Pat's jet and they got there at the same time. Ultimately, yeah, Carlito, the game changer here is that if this is the LWO's reality now. I mean, think about the dynamic that Carlito has. We saw a small but explosive sample of it tonight. Ray's experience, Santos' experience, what Carlito can do. All members combined combined, I mean, it's like Voltron. It's going to be incredibly impressive. We saw a preview of it at Backlash. We saw an even bigger sampling of it tonight. It's a total game changer for the LWO.
And what do we always talk about with the LWO and Santos Escobar? It's about their family, it's about their legacy, and we get to see that each and every week, how much they progress together as a unit and how they have each other's backs.
They have that, no doubt about it. My question is, where does Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits go? Because this was a setback. On this very set, a couple of weeks ago, the Profits sat here and had to listen to Bobby Lashley tell them, I don't know where things are at right now. A couple days later, seemed to get on the same page. Saw more of that on SmackDown. Saw a lot of it throughout this match. Saw the Profits a little more cocky, talking back to the WWE Universe. And I'm going, yeah, this is a formidable team. This is another faction that wants to be on the top of the WWE. And they looked very good. It was almost like they weren't ready. They were shocked by Carlito. Admittedly, Ryan, surprised to see that they were kind of taken aback by the return of Carlito, who got the victory.
I do worry about the dynamics of this, though, right? It's like, no, Bobby Lashley seems like he's going to be decently hard to please. And you know what? He has every reason to be that way. He's one of the greatest superstars of the modern era, right? So if I'm the Street Profits, I think they've taken the right steps to where Bobby wants them to be. But I do worry, to your point, with every setback, is it 2 steps forward and 15 steps back in the eyes of Bobby Lashley? Not sure. We're going to have to wait and see.
Well, I was wondering about that because last week on SmackDown, Bobby Lashley told the Street Profits, you need to prove it to me. And then they did, and they proved it a step farther last night on SmackDown, but unable to deliver in the big moment at WWE Fastlane. We'll have to see where they go from here.
I don't know if it's a huge step back, but it's something that they got to learn from. And I think it's the Profits now going, all right, we got to do a little bit more, I guess. I guess that we have to matching gear, first time tagging together, first time Bobby Lashley's been in a WWE ring since May, since the World Heavyweight Championship tournament. I think they're going to get there. Maybe they needed this. Maybe this is the worst possible thing to happen to the rest of Friday Night SmackDown.
And to that point, I totally agree. I just am curious, does it revert back to 2 weeks ago if this keeps happening? With that said, I don't expect Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits to stay down for long.
Nope.
Never.
Well, who will not have to stay down at all is LWO, who picked up the victory tonight, and they were standing by with Kayla Braxton.
All right, guys, here backstage of Fastlane, and man, what a match and what a surprise. Carlito came out, team member number 3. We knew you made that phone call, made some texts. We weren't sure. We were told you maybe was leaving him on red there for a minute, but we were so glad you were here. How did it feel to be back out there in front of the WWE Universe?
It felt great. You know, Carlito's always on island time. You know what I mean? I might not show up on time, but whenever Ray calls me, Carlito will always show up.
I have to admit, I was on Mexican time when I made the call, so I was a bit delayed. So, you know what? But that's how we are. And I told Santos earlier today, I said, the person that I called today is trustworthy. Ten confianza, ten fe. And he did. He trusted me.
And here's the thing about the LWO that we hear time and time again. No matter what happens, this is a family. You two have been opposite ends of the ring from each other, and you still come together as family. And you proved why that is way more important than anything the Street Profits or Bobby Lashley could pull out tonight.
Kayla, carnalita, Ray, never, not once, ni una sola vez have you disappointed me. And you, we go back. We go back. And bienvenido a casa, papi. Bienvenido a casa. You really got me there, Ray. You really got me, but I gotta admit, this is a surprise, la más grande que he tenido este año. Bienvenido a la familia. Welcome to the family.
Muchas gracias. Thank you.
And just know that the Latin blood runs as thick as this. Yes.
And Delina, you know, as the woman of the LWO, I know this really meant a lot for you as well.
It did. I mean, I had to restrain myself a few times, you know. I mean, I might have snuck something a little bit in there, but, you know, I couldn't help it. And I just knew I had to just trust Ray because everything was going to turn out okay. And as soon as I saw your name, I'm like, oh, we got this. This is it. So thank you for coming back.
Oh, thank you.
And lastly, Carlito, since I have you, any message you want to send to the WWE Universe? Of course, they're in full support, just as excited as everyone else to see you back tonight.
You know, this time it isn't the last you've seen of Carlito. You know what I mean? Carlito is going to be here for a while, and Carlito is LWO.
All right, guys, thank you. Congratulations! Yes!
Party
Love
time.
it. Party!
Let's go celebrate. Let's go celebrate.
Vámonos.
Hey, tú también vienes.
Bye.
LWO, congratulations to them on the victory. And also to see Carlito back in WWE, this evolution of LWO. It's very fun to see them come together.
All the pieces together, Matt, some of its parts, you know?
I think so. You got a former United States champion, former Intercontinental champion, former tag team champion, plenty of experience in LWO trying to find their way to the top of all of the factions of WWE right now.
Absolutely. Fastlane was an action-packed show that absolutely delivered, but we want to talk about something that took place while we were on the air. Seth freaking Rollins tweeting this out on X.
I mean, here it is. Listen, this is what he's saying. My heart keeps saying stay young. My lower back seems to disagree. That is a man who is facing mortality after a last man standing match. You put that out there into the world, you're just keeping everybody in the loop saying, there's a big target on that lower back. 4 years now, and it's still as champion, but that back is something that is going to be a problem.
I agree, but the other way of looking at that on the flip side, although I totally agree with you, he's not shying away from it, right? And at this point, he can't.
Well, he can't. He can't.
Shinsuke does not win the battle or the war, but he has changed the trajectory of Seth's next chapter.
Well, and we heard Michael Cole talk about this in his
Michael Cole was
sit-down
pleading
with
with
Seth
Seth
freaking Rollins, just telling him to quit during the match, but in his sit-down interview, talking about how this could impact his family and it could impact his life, but Seth loves this, and that is exactly what we saw in the tweet, and this is what he wants to do as World Heavyweight Champion. Well, Fastlane delivered. It was an amazing show, and we are on the road to WWE Crown Jewel. It is less than a month away already, November 4th in Saudi Arabia, and all of the action leading to Crown Jewel kicks off on Monday, so not much time to rest here in WWE. A big week and a lot of questions that Damian Priest may need to answer. He may have missed an opportunity tonight to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase.
Rest might be needed. I mean, his knee was clearly injured in that tag team matchup. Everybody in Judgment Day, including Rhea, said, don't do it tonight. Literally, give me the briefcase. And we're going to have to talk to him all about that this Wednesday because he's going to be right here as Senior Money in the Bank this Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll see how that knee's doing. We'll see if that decision was taken out of his hands and how he feels about not having gold.
The knee bent in a way the knee isn't supposed to bend.
Bent, and there was a chair shot to it.
It was not a good situation, Megan. It wasn't
and Rhea holding the briefcase, so we'll see if he has that when he joins us here in studio. No more title for Damian Priest. Lots of questions that he will need to answer. Don't miss the episode of The Bump this Wednesday, 1 p.m. Eastern on Peacock. Well, thank you guys so much for recapping WWE Fastlane here with us on The Bump. I'm Megan Morant. He's Ryan Pappolla. He's Matt Camp, and we will see you guys on Wednesday.